This is Wintemp Tankless Electric Water Heater, model WN08 volts, 60 hertz, 8000 watts, and the active water flow 0.4 gallon per minute. I love how they packed it on a nice little carrying package here with a handle on top if you need to carry it, with a recyclable box. Kudos to Wintemp for making it. Yes, they have other versions as well, but this is the one that they sent me as a gift. I thank you, Wintemp, for sending this beautiful product to me. Let me just open it real quick. And yeah, before I forget, it actually has Wi-Fi. Believe it or not, there's an app for it that you download, and you can control it and check it via Wi-Fi from your phone. Well, let me just pull it out of the box. Okay, box is empty at this point. Let me just close it because I really like this box. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, what do we have in the box? Except for the really nice padding here, so it doesn't bend or dent. Here's the cushion. Really nice. I like these bags for some reason. Here's the manual. I'm gonna open it in... Actually, let me open it just now. I see some water filtration going on there, which is a good indicator. You put them on the input and output, especially if you have rough water. And just in case, I highly suggest you put these filters on your water heaters, whether it's tank or tankless, but especially tankless. Do not skip this part. I highly suggest you don't skip this part. And I'm glad Wintemp included them. Here's the included instructions and everything else. Here's how you download the app. And the app is called Smart Home or Tuya Smart. Tuya Smart in the App Store. And we will see when I connect it, because obviously I'm not going to turn it on right now and run it dry. And here would be the instructions manual, how to install it, how to put it. I've installed so many of these that probably I may not need the instructions manual, but it looks very clear and very clean to install, actually. And I'm glad that they have the whole circuit board on paper here, which more and more companies should do exactly this to show a whole layout. And yes, just like I showed you, that you need a double pole, L1 and L2, Live 1 and Live 2. And here's on the booklet, L1 and L2. And the ground would be the E here. Okay, the bag. These have to be my favorite on everything. Anyway, now let me take it out of the plastic really quick. This feels like a really high-end appliance. I really like that. And here's our on-demand hot water heater, or what some people call them, tankless, on-demand, doesn't matter what you call it. And it's self-regulating digital temperature with Wi-Fi control. And yes, the material made around it is called fire resistant or fire retardant. That means it is not supposed to catch fire even under, God forbid, circumstances. That is a big plus for me. Here's the touch capacitive buttons, turn on and off. Switch the temperature mode from Celsius or Fahrenheit. Here's plus and minus. I'm just going to walk you really quick through. Here on the bottom, you have the outlet, which would be the red. And I heard some air. That means it was tested. Yes, it was tested. Because it's wet. Let me see. Yeah, the microphone, I'm not sure microphone can catch that, but you hear a very tiny hiss. And yes, as you see, here's the gasket. Let me take it out. Really nice. And as you see, when you see this wet, that is actually a good thing. That means it was tested already. And you know it has worked, because otherwise it wouldn't pass. If you see this too dry, that means it was either not tested or tested a very, very long time ago, and you will have to probably pass through some water to dampen it up. In this case, this one was already tested, and I really appreciate that. That means that actually Wintemp cares about their products, and they test them one by one manually. Let me close the other cap really quick before I lose it. It's very easy, very straightforward. There's really nothing to say that these are impossible, but I still suggest you get an electrician if you're not electrically inclined to install, or if you live in an area that requires you to have a license, or you live in an HOA that requires permit, or a city that requires permit for such installation, because you're talking about adding a over 30 amps draw on your electrical system. Here's where the cables would go in. Yep, with a nice little cap, rubber cap that you're supposed, when I open it, you will see when I install. You cut this to size to feed the wire through, connect the wires inside, and put them on the side here. Great job, Windtemp, for paying attention to details. That is something that I really like here. We will see you when I install it, because unfortunately, I'm not sure if I can show you the installation unless you're an electrician. Besides that, we'll see you when I install it, turn it on, and get some hot water through it. Why not?
And then we go here to the App Store and download Tuya app, Tuya Smart app. And Tuya Smart is what we are looking for. Okay, the app is downloaded. Agree. Well, first you have to, I'm going to go as guest for now. And what you have to do is turn on wireless, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth, just so you have that. And here when you go add device, location permission, just so it can find us, I guess. Okay, I'm going to give it location just for now, and to connect it with a Wi-Fi to the app and all that good stuff. While it's off, make sure it's off. As you see here, it's on. Turn it on off position with a touch button. When it turns off, you have to hold the plus button, or hold it, as you see right here, until the machine comes. Okay, as you see, there's a little Wi-Fi sign there, and now we go to our app and look for devices. Bluetooth is on. Yes, allow. Location, allow. So it will search for nearby devices. Okay, and as you see, we have discovered a device here. It looks like our WN08 Windtemp. Enter the password to our Wi-Fi. Click next, and waiting for it to pair with a phone. And as you see, the Wi-Fi light has stopped blinking, and we just gonna name it real quick. I'm gonna put WN08. This one is the small one, the 8 kilowatt. By the way, they have bigger ones that are 13 kilowatt and all that you can do for the whole house. This year, I installed only for a secondary bathroom. That will be plenty of hot water, continuous hot water for the shower, both shower heads, and the small sink. That is the idea here. And as you see, we are inside the app. Okay, it says it's turned off, because we know that. And as you see, here's the app. Let me turn on, and let's see what happens. As you see, turn on right away. And I can slide the temperature up and down. As you see, it drops it. Boom. 98. Let me push it to 140 again. And it goes to 140 right away. 98 is the temperature of the water, by the way, right now. But if I open the shower head, the water temperature should keep increasing here. And I'm going to show you just in a second. Okay, we'll look a little bit messy here because it's a secondary bathroom. So don't expect anything super good. But let me open the water, and you'll see the temperatures change, and even in the app itself, from standby to active. Let me turn it on slowly. Okay. Let me switch the water to this one here. Yes, it's a dual head shower, and the water is coming up. And as you see, the temperatures, as the water goes in here, the temperatures keep rising. And yep, we are going towards the 130. The water gets hot, really. So, in my opinion, this is a really great device. Yep. Now I just increase the hot water a little bit more. I put it to hot. And the temperature went higher there. It's going to 123, and it's climbing even higher. I'm going to stop it right now, so you get the point. The hot water going on. Let's see what happens. And it goes straight on standby. And the temperatures should drop down to the regular water temperatures that where it's supposed to be. So as you see, Windtemp, in my opinion, is a really, really great device. And here in the app, you can lock it to this temperature. As you see, 127, for example, right now. And nobody can change it. Look, you cannot touch it. You cannot do anything on the panels here, and this is beautiful. If I unlock it, as you see, the lock goes away, and now I can switch to 140, 130, and yes, you can switch between Celsius and Fahrenheit. And if you turn it off and hold this here, goes from Fahrenheit, and you can switch it to Celsius if you want to with a plus and minus. I'm gonna leave mine at Fahrenheit. Okay.
and now it's in Fahrenheit. And if you want to put it on lock without the app, for example, you want to lock it so nobody can just keep touching it at will, hold the same button we used to switch Fahrenheit and Celsius when it was off, but now when it's on, let's say you want to lock it at let's say 135. I don't know why would you have it more than 130, but let's say 129. Hold the button right there for a few seconds and you'll see the lock on the screen right there. Now nobody can touch it. And to unlock it, still without the app, just hold the same button for a few seconds and the lock will disappear. And if you just for some reason decide to turn off the Wi-Fi or whatnot, just turn off the unit, hold the plus button again and it will go away by itself. And yep, in my opinion, this is really a good unit. Let me drop it, for example, on minimum. You see 86, maximum 140, 111. This is very, very responsive, by the way. Really fast. I'm impressed with it. Work state standby. Let me turn it off because nobody's using it right now. Nobody's going to use it for probably the rest of this day because I'll have to go in and close the panel and do all that beauty stuff. But yeah, unfortunately, I didn't show you guys how to install it because that gets into the plumbing and electricity part, and I just don't want to give anybody the wrong ideas or anything. Please, if you're not an electrician, hire the proper professionals to install it because this one is running on 240 volts and it requires a 40 amp breaker. So be very careful, and yes, it requires installation with the whole pipes and all that. In my case, in this second shower, there is 2 switches right there, as you see, that I can cut off the water at the use point, so I don't need to cut for the whole house. But your case may vary, may be different. And that is one of the reasons I did not show the whole thing being done, because you know the reasons. But as per WinTemp, this is the WN08, the 8 kilowatts. Absolutely beautiful. Worked right away. Once I connected it, put the power on, put the proper breaker. It started working right away, with or without the app. By the way, the app is completely optional. You decide if you want the app. If you don't want the app, you can just use the panel directly. It doesn't need any Wi-Fi or anything else. And thank you to the guys at WinTemp for sending this unit here. And yes, I highly suggest it. It works. And if you guys want to check, they have bigger units that you can use for the whole house, for multi-person family. So you choose for how many gallons per minute you want or how many kilowatts. Obviously, the more gallons per minute you want, the more kilowatts it's gonna spend. But hey, so far WinTemp looks really beautiful, looks great. And with that said, I hope you enjoyed this video and we will see you next time with more hot water. Bye, like and subscribe, don't forget that.